Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Bypass Baddie here, coming to you guys with a very honest and raw video. This video is going to consist of talking about my pre-op diet and also talking about days leading up to my surgery. So for those who don't know me, my name is Nikki. I'm 30 years old. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I believe I started my consultation for gastric bypass in May. My starting weight at that time was 323 pounds and my surgery weight was 308 pounds. So I started my pre-op diet on December 19th, 2021. I was allowed to have sugar-free Jello, broth, 6 ounces of yogurt a day. I was also allowed to have Crystal Light water, which is what I'm drinking most of the time because I can't stand regular water. I was also allowed to have 3 protein shakes and 3 snacks a day, or 4 protein shakes and 2 snacks a day. Those snacks included the applesauce, the yogurt, pudding, sugar-free popsicles, and the Jello. Did I get it all? Yes. And they all had to be sugar-free. Everything had to be sugar-free. So as you've seen in my pre-op diet haul, I did go to Walmart and get everything that I needed. I think it was like the day before. I'm very last minute with everything, always. So for day one, for breakfast, I started my day off with a creamy chocolate Slim Fast protein shake. And if you've never tried the Slim Fast protein shakes, try them. They are so good. I ended up getting the chocolate ones, and then I ended up getting the strawberry and cream ones, which I have tried a little bit before starting my pre-op diet because I wanted to get a feel of what they taste and what brand I would like. So that's what I ended up having for breakfast, and that was all. For lunch on the 19th, I ended up having some broth, and I had used the roasted chicken bouillon base, which that also was life. That was my first time having that, and y'all, it was so delicious. Literally all you have to do is take a teaspoon of the bouillon base, boil some water, put it in there, and you don't need to season it or add anything extra. It's absolutely delicious. It was very flavorful, and I fell in love with it literally the first time after trying it. So for lunch, I had that, and then I had another Slim Fast creamy chocolate shake because I'm obsessed with chocolate. For dinner, I ended up having the Slim Fast strawberries and cream shake, which was absolutely delicious. That's another one, like I said, one of my favorite flavors. I highly recommend the Slim Fast brand. It has 20 grams of protein per bottle of per shake, so it's really good. You're getting a nice amount of protein there, and it's very delicious. Also for dinner, I had a bottle of water, and I had put oh no, this was a Gatorade Zero. They're like little small bottles, which if you go to my pre-op diet Walmart haul, you'll see everything that I bought. But I had a bottle of Gatorade Zero, and then I also had for snacks, 3 chocolate puddings throughout the day. I also had a cup of hot green tea, and I also had a glass or a cup of beef bone broth. So I had that, all of that throughout the day. I know it seems like a lot, but it really did get me through the day. And yeah, so on the 20th, I had ended up instead of starting my day off with a protein shake, I ended up making some chicken bouillon. I had cut up some onions in there, and I had let the onions just simmer in the broth, and then I put a little bit of parsley in there, which I'll probably insert a clip in just to show y'all how I made it. So yeah, I ended up putting the onions in there. It was so good, and I enjoyed it. You don't need a lot of onions, just a little bit. You really don't need onions at all, but I was like, wanted to try something different, and it made me feel like I was kind of eating in a way, eating some real foods. But day 4 is when it kind of hit me a bit. I was just like, wow, I am absolutely starving. So I ended up emailing my nutritionist because I seen like a lot of people, some people didn't even have a pre-op diet and they were like kind of bigger than me. So I was just like, well, why can't I have a 2-day pre-op diet? Like, I know I shouldn't be questioning the doctors and nutritionists. They know best. I'm a girl who literally I got the surgery because I had a food addiction. I love food, the smell of it, the taste of it. So to go 2 weeks without eating, it's like if I could go 2 weeks without eating, I would have did that a long time ago to lose weight. It's very, very hard. It's not easy. I ended up emailing my nutritionist and I said, hey, well, first I emailed her and said, I'm not feeling well. Is there anything else I can incorporate into my meal? And she said, Benefiber.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I'm like, Benefiber. I was like really confused. Like, what am I gonna do with that? Like Benefiber. I was just like, no, I was talking about more so as like maybe a small 4-ounce meal. Like, am I able to eat some vegetables or incorporate some chicken or whatever? And she said, which I'm going to put up the message that she had sent me. So she said, typically, we don't recommend eating regular food because you only have 2 weeks to decrease fat in your liver. If you can maximize 4 ounces of chicken breast and veggies without oils, etc., then fine. Keep in mind if your weight is not if your weight is not down and the surgeon is concerned, the surgery can always be rescheduled. So, and she didn't email me back until day 5. So day 4, I did what I was supposed to do. She emailed me back on day 5 and said that or whatever. I had posted it on Instagram because I'm not gonna lie, I kind of felt like I was being threatened away. Like, if you eat something, you're not gonna get your surgery. And I'm now I'm looking back and I'm like, okay, she didn't mean it that way. But when you're hangry, which is hungry and angry, you're kind of just like, you're just pissed. Like, and that's how I was just very upset. I was hungry, I wasn't feeling well, and I just wanted some food in my body. It almost felt like my body was shutting down, my liver, my kidneys, everything. Like, it just felt like my body was shutting down. So when she said that, the next day, which I didn't even post on Instagram, this is why I'm being honest in my videos. The next day, I had ended up going to Aldi's. I had got, which I'll insert a picture of everything that I got somewhere, maybe over here. I had got a small pack of ground turkey, because that's like lean meat. I had also got some lettuce and some mushrooms, and I had got some yogurt because I didn't have any. Well, I did, but it was old. I didn't have any fresh yogurt in the refrigerator, so yeah, I had ended up getting that, and I was so happy. I already have a scale at home because I own a business, so I have to measure out my packages. I did end up ordering like a food scale shortly after, but until then, I was weighing my food on my scale that I had. Let me show y'all. So I was ordering my, putting my food like on a paper towel, and then I would be weighing it on here until my food scale came. So I would measure out 4 ounces um, of the lean ground turkey, and I had got some mushrooms and lettuce. So I would saute the mushrooms. I would mix them in with the ground turkey, and then lettuce doesn't have any calories, carbs. Like, you could really have as much lettuce as you want, to be honest. It wouldn't do anything to your liver. So after I had made the mushrooms and the ground turkey, I had cut up some shredded lettuce, and then I had put all of that on top of the lettuce. And I downstairs I had like this buffalo ranch dressing that I got from TJ Maxx, I believe it was. They have like a little home section, and I had used like a tablespoon of that and some hot sauce, which you know hot sauce has 0 carbs, 0 fat, 0 everything. So hot sauce was definitely my best friend. When I tell y'all, I didn't add any cheese or anything. When I tell y'all it was so delicious, that kept me satisfied. So for that whole week, for the rest of that week, um, that's what I had. Like day 8 or 9, no, Christmas. It was Christmas. On Christmas, I did end up ordering 10 original hot buffalo wings from Wingstop. I didn't get any dressing with it because you know dressing is really really fattening, and honestly I just put hot sauce on my wings because they're not hot enough for me and I'm good to go. So I was happy with that. I didn't have any regrets after that. I wasn't crying, I wasn't upset. I was just like, if I could be perfect, I wouldn't be getting the surgery. So it was like I knew I wasn't going to be perfect. I tried to be as perfect as possible and I couldn't. Like I had a moment, y'all. Like people are going to judge me or whatever, and that's fine. Like I really don't care, but I did have a moment. But I was just like, okay, like I only have like what 6 days left. I need to get back on track because I really want to make sure my liver is shrink, you know, to a nice size, and I want to make sure I'm losing the right amount of weight. So for the rest of the days on my pre-op diet, I did stick to what I was supposed to be doing. I didn't cheat anymore. I had my protein shakes. I had my water. I didn't even, I did have yogurt from time to time, but I tried to even stay away from the yogurt. I did have applesauce put in some days. On the last 2 days before surgery, I had Crystal Light. Okay, because I wasn't playing. I wasn't about to have them go in there and tell me that I could not get this surgery. Like I was like, okay, the last is you have 2 days left. Drink the water. That's it. And plus, it was weird. Like I guess because I was getting closer to my surgery date, I really did not have an appetite. I was just so excited about the surgery that I was just like, I'm gonna just drink this water. Period. So on December 30th, that's when I had my COVID test. I was very nervous about that because my man, he works around like about 6 people. It's the same 6 people every day. But I was just like, you never know what other people are doing. I can tell him to wear his mask, but is he really doing it? You know what I mean? So I was very nervous, even though I had separated myself from him pretty much the whole 2 weeks leading up to the surgery. I would be downstairs watching TV, doing what I wanted to do. He would be upstairs doing what he wanted to do. When we slept and laid down, I would be facing the totally opposite direction from him. I was just, it came off very harsh, but I really didn't want to get COVID, and I just really didn't trust that he was doing what he was supposed to do. So I just tried to stay away from him as much as possible. I stayed away from everybody. So on the 30th, I got my COVID test. It was at 10:30 in the morning. I went home, and then I would say maybe 2 hours later, I get a call from Jean's hospital, and I'm like, damn, that was quick because they told me it would take 24 hours. So I'm thinking that they're calling me to tell me, you know, if my COVID test was negative or positive, which in my mind, I kind of knew it was going to be negative because I wasn't having any symptoms or anything. I felt good, but I was just still nervous, like, you know. So I answered the phone, and I could just tell by her voice it was something. I was like, oh my gosh, if this man gave me COVID, I'm going to be very upset. She says to me, I'm sorry, but I have some really bad news. I said, okay, the COVID test came back positive. She said, no, your surgery has been canceled.
Oh, hell no!
I for a second, I couldn't even say anything. She was like, hello. I was like, what did you say? She was like, I'm sorry, but due to the amount of COVID cases we have in Philadelphia and in our hospital right now, your surgery has been canceled. And my heart dropped because that's something I just was not expecting. I said, my surgery is 2 days away. Are you fucking kidding me right now? and I just did everything like months of, and you're telling me my surgery is getting canceled. At the time, I know it sounded selfish, and looking back, I'm like, you could have been had a little bit more sympathy, but nobody understands. Like, this process is long. It took me 8 months to get to where I am. So it's like, if they're putting, even though I cheated during my 2-week diet, I still put in work. Like, that shit was hard as fuck. So I was just like very just devastated. I started crying. I said, you can't be serious. I said, you can't be serious. Like, let me talk to my surgeon. Let me talk to somebody. Like, I said, y'all have to do something. Like, she was like, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do. And then she was like, so I said, so what do you want me to do about the pre-op diet? And she was like, well, they're going to be stopping surgeries for at least 30 days, and I can't tell you to be on a pre-op diet for 30 days. So she said, just, just, I guess, go back to healthy eating. So I said, okay. So I hung up with her. I was just crying and praying because I'm just like, God, I know you like, he basically let me know that I was meant to have this surgery. Like, I've had so many scriptures and stuff, like, just letting me know and confirming like that I was supposed to get this surgery. So I was just like, nah, this can't be the end of it. So she ends up calling, somebody else ends up calling me, I would say maybe 30 minutes later, and they were another person telling me like, your surgery has been canceled. We're going to call you back to let you know when it's rescheduled. And then I said, okay, and then we hung up. So I just started calling my grandma. I called my man, and I said, you would never guess what just happened to me. Obviously, they knew it was bad news because I was crying on the phone, hysterical. My grandma was like, it's okay. Like, God knows best. Clearly, something is not right. And you're going to still get the surgery. Don't worry about it. Just trying to calm me down or whatever. And when I spoke to her, she really does calm me down. And I was just like, you're right. Like, you're right. It's going to be okay. So, I would say maybe an hour or two later, mind you, I'm the type of person, I'm used to coping through food. When I'm happy, I would eat. When I'm depressed and sad, I would eat. I would just eat, and that was it would make me feel better. Believe it or not, it would make me feel better to eat the foods that I wanted in those moments. So when they told me that, I know she said just continue healthy eating, but I ended up ordering some guacamole and tortilla chips from the Mexican truck, and I just was sitting there eating it. And don't y'all know, in the midst of me eating, I get a phone call from this lady, and she was like, hey, we talked to another surgeon, and they're saying that they want you to continue on your pre-op diet if possible, because they may be able to squeeze you in sometime next week. It's not going to be the 3rd, but we can maybe squeeze you in sometime next week. And God was working. He was working. But I was just looking down like, I'm eating fucking guacamole and tortilla chips. Like, so, yeah, so I was just like, wow. So she was like, let me just call you right back. So I said, okay. So I just stopped eating. I stopped eating because I had already been fucking it up, okay? So she called me back like 10 minutes later. She said, yeah, we spoke. We did some numbers. We moved some stuff around, and your surgery is still going to be on Monday. She said, you may have to come in early at about 7:30, but your surgery is not canceled. I said, thank you, Lord. I said, God said, not her and not today, okay? I was so happy. I was crying because I was just so happy, because they were not playing. They were really canceling surgeries. Literally everybody after me, I felt so bad. January 4th and after, all their surgeries were canceled. Like, nobody's getting surgeries. Like, everybody's surgery in Philadelphia after that day was canceled. So I said, I was like, God is good. I was so happy. I was so happy. So yeah, my pre-op diet was a little crazy. Leading up to the surgery was a little crazy, but for the most part, everything went well. And yeah, so My surgery was scheduled for Monday, January 3rd, 2022. So I was happy. And yeah, so I'm probably gonna record my next video now, letting you know how the process of surgery, day went, and days after surgery post-op, because I am a week post-op, but we'll talk about that in the next video. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.